With the impending release of Avengers Endgame, does the planet Xandar hold the key to victory and the ultimate defeat of Thanos? Now, before we get started, many of you may not be familiar with the planet Xandar, which was first introduced to us in Guardians of the Galaxy. It is the home of the Nova Corps, and is where Ronan the Accuser attempted to use the Power Stone to decimate the planet's population, but was defeated by the Guardians. Afterwards, we see that the purple Power Stone was left in the protective custody of the Nova Corps, and of course was the first stone that Thanos collected prior to the start of Infinity War. As many have wondered, why was Thanos' attack on Xandar left out of Infinity War and only referenced to in a short statement when Thor told the Guardians that
Thanos already has the Power Stone because he stole it last week when he decimated Xandar.
Although the producers of the film stated that kicking off Infinity War with 2 attacks by Thanos to collect 2 Infinity Stones would have been a bit redundant to start off the film, but it seems like there is more to it than just that. After all, Thanos collecting the Power Stone off-screen left many not only wondering how he got it, but also it clearly left out a big piece of the story of Thanos' quest to collect all 6 stones. Well, could it be that we will end up getting to see Thanos attack Xandar, but it will actually be in the final battle of Endgame, and thus is why it was left out of Infinity War?
That up there, that's the Endgame.
Now, the common going theory of Endgame is that it will likely involve some level of time travel and/or alternate universe hopping, thanks in part to the post-credits scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, where Janet tells Scott,
"And don't get sucked into a time vortex. We won't be able to save you."
Now, if this holds true, and time travel does come into play, then anything is possible. Why the battle on Xandar thus seems more likely in this scenario is because it is the only one place and the only one time prior to the events of Infinity War where Thanos is known to be, and he will also be at his weakest without any of the stones in his possession. Since Thor obviously has knowledge of exactly when this happens, this gives the Avengers an exact moment where they could likely take down the Mad Titan with minimal effects to the established MCU timeline. Since there are no films that run concurrent to the events of Infinity War with the exception of the post-credits scene of Ant-Man and the Wasp, this means they can prevent Thanos from ever collecting any Infinity Stones and effectively undo everything that happened in Infinity War without screwing up the MCU as we know it.
Fine. I'll do it myself.
Think about it. If at some point in Endgame the Avengers travel back in time and go to Xandar when Thanos first attacks, they can try and stop him before he ever does any of the terrible things that we saw in Infinity War. But it would not affect the outcomes of any previous movies or TV shows, those of which have mostly ignored the snap anyways, but stopping Thanos at Xandar means he would not get the Power Stone, and thus he would not be able to take down the Asgardians. Heimdall and Loki would then not be killed, allowing them to live on in the MCU, and then he never gets the Space Stone, aka the Tesseract. So without that, he can't go to nowhere and get the Reality Stone, so then the Guardians never show up for him to get Gamora, and so then he never goes to Vormir to sacrifice her. His minions never attack New York, so the battle on Titan never happens, nor does his final assault on Wakanda. But most importantly, he never makes the snap. So this would be a perfect explanation of why the writers of Infinity War have said that the deaths are permanent. If this theory holds true, they could still have been honest with us, because no one would be brought back from the dead. They would just be prevented from dying in the first place, and the timeline can continue on without significant impact, other than the events, of course, from Infinity War and Endgame itself. Now, for nearly a year, many have wondered how Thanos' snap will be undone, in anticipation of the inevitable return of the heroes lost in the snap, and probably those before. and time travel is likely the way to fix the outcome of Infinity War and still keep the majority of the MCU timeline intact. So if time travel does occur in Avengers Endgame, then Xandar is likely the key point in time where the Endgame can truly take place.
Today we have a chance to take it all back. We will. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
So what do you think? Do you think the speculation is right that time travel will somehow take place in Endgame and that Xandar could likely be the key to defeating Thanos? Please let us know in the comments below if you agree or disagree, and if you have any theories of your own, feel free to share them there. Also, if you have not yet, please hit that subscribe button, and if you like this video, please hit that like button as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.